It's the rainy season again, and many communities in Lagos are experiencing severe flash floods. The flooding has displaced and stranded many residents. While poor urban planning and waste management are to blame, experts warn that this is also a sign of a worsening climate crisis. What started as a well-intentioned effort to drain floodwaters from this section of the community didn't sit well with other residents. For them, this action could worsen flooding and lead to further displacement. For a coastal city like Lagos, just a few meters above sea level, projections suggest it could disappear by the next century due to the climate crisis exacerbated by global warming. This situation is made worse by the constant indiscriminate disposal of waste in drainage systems, among other environmentally unfriendly practices. This is Bugije Extension in Ibejuleki local government area of Lagos, heavily flooded after a recent torrential rainfall hit parts of the city. Most of the houses here lack proper drainage channels, and there are claims that some properties are built on drainage paths.
Look at the height of this place. That this area of the path is low. That consider us, because any water you throw off from that place will go into people's residence because of the height of that place compared to this place. And this morning, just like you saw that the work have already begun, we have tried to stop them. We drag and drag. Everybody spoke their mind, but they insisted that they must do it that because it's a project, it's an intervention project. That some people's houses there are flooded and they couldn't even come out of the house. And we now reason with that. But at the same time, we are saying, when are you going to come and start doing the concrete work so that at least it will prevent whatever intensity of what happened when a bigger rain fall?
Their fear is that they are going to open the place down without casting it later. And I told them that state, they were coming to do a proper construction. And I told them, without excavating this water away to the river, it will later affect every one of you. Even though it's not affecting you directly into your house, but for you to access the road back to the house, either with your car or with leg. And also, their children, after closing hours, they used to come to that swimming area to come and swim inside that place. And I told them, all those things can cause another problem for us. And we don't want any one of them to lose their children.
Most of the properties here are sold by landowners and not state authorities, and as such, lack proper checks to ensure houses constructed have proper drainage paths to avert situations like this. Some of the drainage channels here are quite shallow and littered with waste, making it difficult for floodwaters to flow into the appropriate channels. Others aren't well constructed or just layered across the streets with sandbags to guide the water passage.
I believe what costs most of all from doing drainage is this. The government says for every drainage it must be concrete. And I can tell you, everybody that lives around here is managing. So it's very difficult for us to build concrete. That is why I believe that is why the drainage is not there. And I can equally say, sometimes ago there was a drainage along this road, mighty drainage canal. You understand? But because of we the landlords, we also say it because, and it was not cast. Every drainage that is being done that is not cast, there is tendency that even during the rain, it will still come out of.
In the meantime, the Lagos state government is ramping up efforts to clear drainage paths following weeks of torrential rainfall that submerged several communities.
When people are used to having bad behavioral pattern over time, they won't stop overnight except you stand your ground firmly. And we are very resolute on this. This era of anyhowness is not going to continue. What brings development is when you enforce your law.
However, experts believe that beyond government intervention, responsible actions like proper waste disposal and urban planning are crucial for a coastal city like Lagos to mitigate the devastating impacts of flooding amid changing weather patterns. In the meantime, the Lagos State government plans to bring back the monthly sanitation exercise to keep drainage channels clear of waste and reduce flooding. Environmental activist Desmond Majekodumi shares his thoughts on this and other related issues.
This is where all the water is discharging through. The niche, the drainage is full. The recent floods in Lagos were indeed very alarming because they came with such ferocity due to the fact that there was very heavy rainfall, there was high tide at the time, and also a lot of the drains had been blocked. The reality is we're going to be getting a lot more rain. This is just the reality that humanity has to face. This is due to the anthropogenic effect that we're having on the environment, specifically the pollution that's been going up into the atmosphere that has been causing extra heating of the earth that is now causing more evaporation, and of course you have more evaporation, you're going to have more water falling. So the reality is there's going to be a lot more rain. In fact, some people don't even call it rainfall. They say that what we're having now is rain bombs, where you will have rain that would normally fall over a period of 1 week. It can fall just in 1 day. And this can overwhelm whatever effective flood relief systems you have in place anyway. So again, the idea is to ensure that you have these reserves of the mangroves, and also to insist that the various natural streams and rivulets must be connected. They cannot be built over, they cannot be blocked in any way, or especially the concrete drains that have been put there. It is a terrible offense because it's not just, aesthetically bad. As a result of this type of activity of blocking the drains and doing things that are upsetting nature's natural systems, you're causing floods which can take people's lives, especially the more vulnerable people, destroy people's livelihoods. And there's one reality in life, that action begets reaction. So if you're responsible for doing this, either through neglect or through direct irresponsibility and illegality, then the reaction will be forthcoming on you as well. Government's recently announced plan to reintroduce the Saturday sanitation exercise is a welcome development, but the hope is that it shall be very, very well publicized, and it shall be used as a tool for sensitization, because really we shouldn't have to force ourselves to lead sanitary lives. We shouldn't have to be forced not to dispose our rubbish in the gutters or sometimes just thrown on the roads and so on. There should be enough sensitization, and I do believe once people understand the implications of doing that, the consequences of doing that, we will desist from doing it. So maybe for a period of time it could come back, although I hear there are some legalistic aspects to it which I'm sure would be effectively overcome. So, and it's a way of bringing neighbors together. Sometimes we don't even interact much with each other. But on the Saturday sanitation, we get out there, we see each other, we help each other, which is what it's all about, In our great city of excellence, we should have an excellent attitude towards our neighbors.
Green Angle returns in just a moment. Stay with us.